Hey guys, this is Galactic Marine 501 slash jexamwolfexia, and I'm back again with the rx79 ground type. Where we left off, the machine gun. Yeah, now that we've finished transforming it, it's actually nicely detailed, and as you can see, I filled in some of the gaps and stuff. I basically did the rivets. I don't panel line things as much. I do the rivets all the time. I did do like the lines on the handle. I did a lot of stuff actually to this guy. If you look, he's got a lot of color. If you even look at the head, I did that, and you can actually not see it because the camera is too low quality. But yeah, you can see there the head, sides of the head. I did that too. I totally panel lined the head. Now, for gimmicks, this guy actually has some more stuff that I haven't shown you. Oh god. The waist is, however, kind of floppy sometimes. Um, he does have removable armor. Almost all of his leg armor is removable. You have pistons on the inside of the legs, which are actually pistons. Actually, take this part off so you can see them better. Yeah, they're the pistons, and they actually work. I'm reluctant to take out the to take off the foot guard because they're hard to get back on. Now, I also did the insides of the parts, some of them. I mostly did it on the areas where you might be able to see it. However, on some parts like this, I just did the whole thing. I just sucked it up and did it. I actually started out only doing the insides of the skirt armor, but then I just decided, whatever, I'm going to finish it up. But, yeah. So, what else? Oh, his main weapon. You may remember if you watched this, if you watched OATHMS or the War in the Pocket, I think it was also called, that his main weapon was the beam submachine gun or machine gun. I don't remember what it was, but here it is. And one of the cool things was that it had a clip. This thing actually does have clips. Now, this is the one with the clear sprue of parts. So I went a step further and gave him plasma ammunition. I just basically painted the clip green on the inside and um, put some black lines, and that's actually not a very good clip. That's the one that I think I used most often when I'm showing people. I just did this just because it's funny. It would be cool if this were like a perfect grade and they actually had rounds in there, like, or the inner workings of the clip, but until we get that, the clip is not something that we need clear parts on. Now for alternative hands, you get 2 closed fists, which he has on now, one for each hand, 2 open hands, one for each hand, normal open hands, then 2 articulated hands. Now these are the old ball joint thumb, and then 3-finger, trigger finger, split hands. So they can grasp the weaponry, like so. And you can close this finger a little closer just to get a better grasp. But there are no pegs, so it's not as tight as it could be. It's not as good as it could be. But a bit of sticky wax will fix that. Now I find that the weapon that he holds best is also his largest weapon, the machine gun. He can actually hold it relatively well, and that's because you can actually hit the sweet spot with the movable handle, and he can hold it with both hands. But yeah, so yeah, you can see the hand is on there pretty well. Now to put it into the hand, basically you just rip the old hand off, and since it's a robot, he doesn't mind. And and replace it with the good hand, the one that can hold the weapons. And then you gotta pose it so that he doesn't want to lose the machine gun. And there's a good pose. It's got a nice contrast of him. And what I find is a good pose is to get it across with the open hand. Here we go. This is actually the way I do it with the RGM sniper too. And the reason I compare these two so much is because they are very similar kits, and yeah. So, his extra clip came off. Oh yeah, and the two clips on the waist can actually come off, and he can use them if he wants. This is actually the pose I like, and I actually display it in most times. I often actually have him on one knee too, which props up the gun a little more, which, I mean, he can do considering he's got so much articulation. And that was one of the highlights of these kits back in the day, that they could do one-knee poses like this. And actually that's similar to the pose I have the GM sniper in, except I have him sniping down the scope. So, yeah. I'll do that review tomorrow. But until then... Oh, yeah, I forgot to show you. The shield can also attach to the barrel of the machine gun. And he can sort of have the machine gun here and then hide behind the shield so his legs don't get blown off. Not much help, but at least it's a stand. What I'm sort of annoyed about is that they didn't give you the stand for the shield. It's not there. Like the 1-144th had it, but this one doesn't. I mean, I know they wanted to give you that manipulator thing where you could hold it with the hands, but he's never been good at holding that anyway. And because look at the size of this. Look at the size of the handle. It's tiny, and I mean, this was a cool thought, being able to hold it up here and being able to move out, but I would have much preferred the stand, because that's what I remember from the show, from the clips that I've seen from the show. So, yeah. This has been a review of the rx79 ground type, and I'm actually going to rate master grades from 1 to 10. I didn't do this for the Death Scythe, but I'm going to say Death Scythe for me got an 8.5 because of the clasp, the clamp for the cloak mode. It was not a very good clamp, and some parts fell off quite easily. This guy gets a 9, I'd say, because he's a great model. He's well constructed. The build was fun. I mean, the Death Scythe got a little repetitive with the skirts. They were relatively the same, and you had to build 4 of them. And the wings had a very complicated mechanism, and the pictures, I have to say, they did them from a bad angle, so it was kind of like, okay, let's see. And it was clear in the instructions, but also at the same time I found myself really needing to check the pictures because the parts were ever so slightly different. Like, there were minuscule differences between one side and the other, and you couldn't really tell. So, yeah. This guy, great build, great accessories, comes with a lot. Great possibilities, nice panel lining. And they did, with both of these, one of the most obvious places is actually on the RGM sniper, so I'll bring it in. On the gun, or the missile launcher, here, on the face of it, they actually tried to hide the cut marks, so they gave you this part that covers it. Which they didn't have to do. They could have just sandwiched that and saved a part and saved some plastic. But they did. And this, sorry, my computer is overheating. This has been Galactic Marine 501/jexamwolfexia. And I'll see you at the next review. Not today, probably, because I don't have any more time. I gotta finish up the shelving. The only kit that I'm not going to put up today is the RGM Sniper, because I'm going to be reviewing it. And my custom CeraVe, which is not even put together yet. It's not even fully painted yet, if you can use the term painted. It is a paint pen, so I'm going to say painted. And I'll see you guys at the next